So I did an interview with this guy named Marcus Anderson some years ago, and he said a quote that stuck with me, and I've been thinking about it lately. And he said, "There's only one level of commitment, and that's total." He said like when he commits to something, he's going to commit to it, and it was in response to I was like, "Oh man, that was cool!" Like he booked a time right away after I asked him, and he said yes, and then next thing I knew, I got the booking. So I had commended him on that, and that's when he said that quote. And I was thinking about it on a different level just recently, and it's like I'll find myself like looking at shit online, and there's like a bunch of stuff that I sort of dabble in. Like my girlfriend's a Krav Maga instructor, and before I met her, I was doing some of that stuff. That's just one thing. There's a bunch of stuff, like I want to get better at graffiti. I want to get better at playing the bass, and I don't know. There's probably a bunch of other little things that I see, and I'm like, oh man, I want to get really good at that. Like you see somebody like really good at something, and you want to be really good at it, if it's something you're interested in. But the main thing that I committed to was building machine and sort of entrepreneurship and that kind of stuff. So it's like the idea, if you use that quote and you think like, what's the, I guess I'm getting ahead of myself, but the idea is you can get good at a bunch of things, but you're not going to get world class at all of them. Like, so if there's something that you want to be like, I don't know if best in the world is even a goal. I mean, you could say that, but it's hard to measure things like that. But if you want to become, world class at something, you probably have to pick one thing and sort of dabble in the rest of the things. It's hard to commit to, 10 different things and be super good at them. And so I think about that in our business, within that. So it's like we're trying to build machine and trying to be the best we can possibly be and be, a good example of what a graph company can be. You also have to commit within that. So it's like you always have all these different ideas coming your way. You're like, oh, maybe we should make this product. Maybe we should make that product. And then when you think about it, it's like every new thing that you add, it takes energy from the other thing. So there's a good quote, I think, from Alex Hermosi that he's like, you're trying to improve something in your business and you run it through this framework. I think it's new, better, more. So let's say your business is struggling or something like that. You could say, do we need something new, or do we need something that we already have that needs to be improved and make that better? Or do we need more of what's working? And he says the most likely choice is more of what's working. So we've been kind of following that framework in machine for quite some time now. And it makes a lot of sense because let's say you were to take from those three things. If you choose new, that's going to take the most amount of energy, the most amount of resources to make a new thing and put all the energy into this new thing. But if you already have something that's working, it's going to take resources away from that. So if you look at it in your life, it's kind of like sort of the same thing. It's like if you were to look at all the different things that you're interested in and run it through that framework, new, better, more, do I look at all of the things that I like to do and say go all in on one? And that's what I did which is with machine. But it's like you can still kind of do all the other things, but I don't know. You're just not going to get to the level that maybe we want to get to. And it's just kind of a weird thing. I think it's partially, we probably have always been like this, but I think it has a lot to do with the internet now. It's like you're seeing people that are just so good at something and you're like, man, I really want to be that good at that. But what you don't realize is like, that's probably that person's whole existence. You see like graph writers that are super, super good. And it's like, that's the level of commitment that they've made to getting that way is probably far higher than most of us are willing to commit to, So I guess this is kind of a short one, but I guess the overall message is it's worth asking, what's the one thing you're willing to go all in on? And, it doesn't mean you have to quit everything else. Like I still have a relationship and that's the most important thing in my life, but like, I'm not going to commit all my waking hours to making sure that's good, you know, because I would be broke and my team would fail and all this kind of stuff. So outside of things like that, like what's the one thing that you're willing to go all in on? What's the one thing that you're willing to totally commit to? All right.
Appreciate each and every one of you guys who are supporting the cause and continue to spread the love. And yeah, stay up.